Hey guys, I have a very interesting clip for you guys today because I wanted to kind of get your guys' opinion on this. Actually, even any high elo players watching this, I wanted their opinions on this and how they felt about a lot of the changes that I'm about to talk about. Because I've been playing a little bit of a league over the last couple of days. Actually, I started practicing a bit over the last week just because I'm trying to get used to the game again for the new season, since I wasn't really actively playing. And there's something huge that I noticed about this game. I guess not huge, but it's just something that's been piling up for years. Something that I've been complaining about, and it's getting worse and worse and worse every time I come back. So I wanted to talk about like system mechanics in this game, how they've changed a bunch of them in a way that just feels really bad, right? And I wanted to show what happens in an extreme example where all of them are just applying at the same time. Because I think this doesn't necessarily happen every game, but it's just something to keep in mind. So this is a standard like Riven versus Aurelia matchup, right? Like everyone knows, at least in high level, that this matchup is dictated by Riven. This is, I would argue, like Riven favorite, right, for most of the game. And you're able to control waves against her. And typically the way the matchup goes is that if you're pushing the wave as Riven against the Aurelia, you win. And if the Aurelia is pushing the wave back into the Riven, Aurelia wins, right? So typically this matchup can be very snowbally both ways. If Riven gets ahead by a kill in the past, right, or even, I mean, I guess even now in some examples, you can just dominate the whole game right after, right? So there's a couple of things that happen here. By the way, I'm not playing this matchup perfectly. I looked over this VOD with a bunch of other high level players, and I actually ended up learning a couple of things myself of like how I can manage to do some stuff around the system, because I didn't have to think about a lot of the stuff too in depth before. So again, in this matchup, if she ever tries contesting level 1, I can chunk her out really hard, and then my goal is to get like a 3 or 4 wave crash. I can do 2 wave crash potentially if I want to get early vision, right? But it's not really a requirement in this lane. Typically, I think 2 wave crash actually is not very beneficial for me in this matchup. So I'm gonna show this because this is really, I'm gonna go from system mechanic to system mechanic that I think has been changing over the years. And again, some of them have happened 2 months ago, some happened 4 months ago, some happened a year ago. The whole point is that they're all just getting stacked on top of each other to the point now where it just feels really awkward, okay? So I get 2 to 3 wave crash on her, right? So this is the spot where, like, in the next wave, I want to shove as quickly as possible to crash this. So I'm gonna talk about the first ones here, just because I want to make a note of all of them. The first one is, if I have a big stack of minions and I walk up to her and she auto attacks me. In the past, minions used to auto attack her, and if she went below a certain HP threshold, I could potentially dive her, right? That's gone from the game now, right? So that exploit point is gone for me, at least when I'm attacking lower elo players. This is like a master game, I'm pretty sure. I can't really exploit that from this person anymore. Second thing is, if I try trading under tower shots do a lot more damage now than they used to. So it's not really beneficial for me in this aspect, right? Can't really do that either. If I do end up finding a threshold of HP, right, where I can actually dive her. Again, this is an old change, old change. But again, follow my train of thought here. If I dive her and I kill her, even if she's dead and I die afterwards, she still gets XP for my death. So it's not necessarily worth it to do that either. At least not as worth it as it should be. It's still worth it because her losing all these minions, it's still really, really beneficial for me, right? But okay, so those are the first system mechanics changes that I notice are affecting a lot of the gameplay that I'm dealing with when I'm just, like, again, practicing back up. So based on that information, here typically I can usually get like I have proxy 4th wave and then reset after to give myself more time. Especially because it's Aurelia and she gets to shove waves really, really quickly, right? We could have even potentially dove with this guy, but I'm pretty sure he just walked away. So I just recalled with him. So this is where the first system mechanic that, like, at least like the newer ones start coming into play, right? Because these are old changes, the ones I'm talking about right here, right? So the first system mechanic change is that waves move a little faster, right? So you go back to it a little bit. Waves move a little faster, which means that these minions got to the lane earlier to hit minions with the Aurelia to push a little bit faster, right? And again, this isn't really that big of a deal. This is more of like an Aurelia thing. I get back into the lane. I'm probably gonna lose like 1 XP worth of gold, and then probably like 1 melee. Sorry, one minion worth of XP, and then probably 1 minion worth of gold, right? Not a big deal, right? But this is again piling up because if they keep adding more shit, it's gonna get even worse down the line, right? So I get again same situation. Riven versus Aurelia matchup, stacking up waves. I'm on the pushing side, so I can't do anything about it, right? I crash this wave. And then I try to make a play based on what's happening. I either proxy the next wave, or I go make a play. So I notice like this guy's coming in, you know, it's like a free kill. This Talon's griefing the game because he doesn't know what's happening with the wave states, right? Very simple. So this guy dies. And here's where one of the new mechanics, system mechanics are going to come into play. So in this matchup here, right, when the wave is meeting right in the middle here, Riven players have the option to actually outskill check in this spot. Because if Aurelia gets 4 stacks and she lands the E, Riven dies, right? But in this situation, because I know like these spots happen, and Riven is such a solo queue stomper that she wants to exploit people as much as possible to get gold in solo queue and just essentially cheese out a lot of the wins, right? I have bone plating up. I have ignite up. We both have the same items. She has a little bit more sustain with the biscuits and this stuff, right? So it's a point where I can potentially kill her, right? If the Aurelia screws up, right? Or if I guess like again, it's a spot where anything can go wrong for both of us. But typically there's a risk involved here, right? Sorry, my bad, I was doing something. So she screws up here with the E. It didn't land in, and she committed really hard. So the proper play here, forever, and it still I think is the proper play here, is to kill her, right? She screwed up. So I had a little micro movement there that was incorrect, but it's okay. I'm not saying that I played this matchup perfectly, because there's a lot of things I could have done from both sides in all these situations that I'm about to show. But take a look. So I kill her, right? I kill her, and immediately I realize, I'm like, okay, so I have this wave that I can freeze after I kill her. So I want to recall, right? I want to recall as fast as possible. So I recall the moment the last minion auto hits me, exactly the same second. And again, this is me not being used to the new death timers, because this is the next mechanic, right? The death timers got reduced by 4 seconds, or 5, I forget, in this spot. So she actually spawns before I finish my recall. And she teleports immediately. I killed her. I can't even recall in time before she's already TPing back to lane, right? And as I noticed that, again, this is what I'm about to do here is very, very incorrect, but because I'm just mostly testing stuff for the new season, I want to see how I can adapt these situations, right? I go full boots as Riven, one of the probably the most mobile champions, back to lane, and I skip HP from being completely filled up, and I walk back to lane because I want to see if I can get to the tower before she actually gets there. The answer is no. I definitely cannot do that. So I get punished here for killing her on a wave bounce back, because now I have to miss cannon and I have to miss 3 minions, no matter how I play the next situation. Probably cannon and 2 minions. But I'm getting punished for killing her in this spot, right? Now, technically, this isn't correct, right? I'm going to tell you guys what the correct call is from what I talked to a lot of Halo players when we were discussing this situation. The correct call would have been to just build full damage item components for the Hydra, and then walk around, miss the 3 cannons, the 3 melees and the cannon, walk around, collect the minion wave, and then have tempo back, and then you have more damage than her, etc. So she's in a worse spot, right? We're here fucking doing a bunch of random shit just to try to make sure that this doesn't happen. But now this is what happened. I fucking ran it down here, okay? This is... I ran it down because I was just so surprised. So anyway, I die here because I'm just fucking mind blown that this person got to recall... Sorry, that he died and spawned so much faster than I actually realized. But this isn't even the worst part, okay? Again, this is completely my fault here that I died. Not saying otherwise. But this isn't even the worst part. By the way, for the future, obviously I'm going to play it differently. I'm going to do the whole thing. I'm going to walk around and I'm going to be like, okay, fine. I'll forfeit my cannon. I'll forfeit my 3 melees, right? Of gold that I would have gotten in previous patches anyway. I'll forfeit that. The next change that happens that affects me, because I ended up we still ended up winning the 2v2s, and I still ended up winning the 1v1 anyway, even with that situation, because the Aurelia kept missing stuff that she shouldn't have, and I kept winning through it. Right? But I want to show you guys the next system mechanic that fucked me. So now, with all that in mind, we're still coming back into the game. We're in a pretty good spot. This guy griefs for the Herald here. I think he flashed over or something. But I want you guys to look at this. Typically, this wave state pushes back to me. Right? It's going to be a slow push. She can't freeze this. But here, because my team is winning by 2k gold, barely, my minions are level 7. Her minions are level 6. So my minions, if I'm correct here, have like a 10% damage reduction or something like that. Which means that she can permanently freeze on me here. Because my team is winning. Because my team is winning, I get fucked. For the whole match, I just get screwed. And the fucked up thing is, if my team starts falling behind, the minion wave gets back to the middle and then I can use it. But then the thing is, she already collected an advantage for my minions being higher level. So I'm literally, like, I've mentioned like 5 or 6 different system mechanics since this game started, right? I think it's obscene that everything like this just keeps piling up. And I think Riot's probably going to end up doing more things like this in the future. That's why I want to make a discussion now of like, hey, you guys should probably calm down with these changes. You're making the game really, really rough in the sense that people are probably never going to want to fucking kill each other. I mean, right now, I'm pretty sure it's mostly about wave management, right? It's like, oh, will this trade benefit my wave in a minute or two? Will this situation benefit my wave? Will this benefit... Like, the solo kills and stuff, like when you're trying to micro outplay each other, mostly happen now on wave crashes and bounce backs, right? And it's I feel like that's fine, but the death timer change that they recently added, where they spawn like 5 seconds earlier, is ridiculous. Like, why am I getting punished for the person for winning like a 1v1 in that situation, right? Anyway, I know this was a long clip, and it's on Twitter, typically long clips don't do very well, but I just wanted to create a discussion around this, and I want to see like what Riot's point of view is on this, if they plan on like even doing more anti-snowball mechanics, or what's happening, right? Again, the whole point is not that, oh, I play perfectly, it's shouldn't have happened. It's like, no, I played a bunch of spots incorrectly, right? But it's just, it's crazy. Like this whole situation, this anti-snowballing situation is going like way too hard on one side. They need to slide it down a little bit more to reward snowballing in some other ways, right? Like just a little bit more, I feel like. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm gonna go stream now, so yep. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.